Well, 20 towns in 20 days is making a pit stop in East Hartford, and you cannot talk about that city without talking about Pratt Whitney.
That's for sure. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mike Savino shows us how the company and the town have grown together.
Connecticut is proud of its aviation history, and Pratt & Whitney is a key part of that. But Pratt & Whitney would not be what it is today without Frederick Rentschler. Early in his career, Rentschler worked at Wright Aeronautical in New Jersey, but the company didn't share his vision for the engine, so he left and came to Connecticut. It was a life-changing move.
Today, it would be the entrepreneur, it would be the Steve Jobs story.
Carl Cruff worked at Pratt & Whitney for 40 years. Now he talks about their engines as a guide at the New England Air Museum.
It's the success story, the aerospace success story of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, as far as I'm concerned, for Pratt.
With funding from a tool company in Hartford called Pratt & Whitney Measurements, Frederick Rentschler began making his brand of dependable engines in 1925. The young company quickly grew, and by the end of the 1920s, it had 60% of the airplane engine market. In the 30s, its Wasp engine was a favorite for race pilots. His engines were also in planes flown by Charles Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart. In the 1940s, the company shifted its focus to the wartime needs, making engines that helped power the Allies to victory. After the war, a sudden boom in commercial air travel meant a new kind of business. Jill Alberti is an executive with Pratt & Whitney.
It started certainly from all the war efforts, but it's expanded to military, commercial, general aviation.
As Rentschler's company grew, so too did East Hartford. The one-time farming community suddenly needed more housing. Initially, some workers temporarily lived in campers before moving into more permanent housing. Here's East Hartford's mayor, Marcia LeClaire.
We built roads, schools, housing to accommodate those workers, and many of that is still in play today.
Pratt & Whitney no longer uses its East Hartford runway to test its engines, but the site still brings thousands to East Hartford in a different way. Rentschler Field now hosts UConn football games and other events, and through the pandemic, it's been home to the state's largest COVID vaccination clinic.
Because we truly want to support the community in which we live.
From East Hartford, Mike Savino, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.